Okay, cool. All right, well, we're going to get on with it. I'm just going to look at HelpBank. You can all look at me and I'll just talk. So, okay, first things first. So anyone that doesn't know me, thanks so much for joining. This is totally new for me. Totally new, just looking at a screen. But I'll run with it. So I'll keep looking at the chat. I'm going to keep it open. So I'm just going to move it over where I can see it. Firstly, I just want to say I'm going to be doing 5 giveaways today. So for those who are most interactive, anyone who's ever watched me on a live stream, anyone who has interacted with me on a one-to-one basis or on Zooms or masterminds, I like to get everyone involved because otherwise there's no point just me talking. So what I want to say is I'm going to be doing 5 giveaways for free entries to our next peak performance events. I'll explain a little bit more, but it's for those who are most interactive, asking questions, because as some of you might know, I like to make this as interactive as possible. So what I want to firstly ask everyone, and obviously the chat is there to be used, who here thinks that they have more of a rich mindset or a poor mindset at the moment? And what I mean is, are you good with money? Do you see money as a good thing? Or maybe money's a little bit bad. Maybe you don't have good relationships. Maybe you have a poor mindset. So I just want to determine kind of where we're at with everyone who's on the webinar today. Have you got a rich mindset at the moment or a poor mindset? Just rich or poor mindset. That's all I'd like. And then I can see names, I can see what people are saying. And then what we're going to work out is we're going to work out really who's got a rich and who's got a poor mindset. And I'd like everyone to make sure they're answering, so we get everyone involved. Okay, cool. Yeah, great. Everyone keep answering. And what I just want to say there, just to back that up, is rich and poor mindset. What does that actually mean? It doesn't mean you need to be rich to have a rich mindset, by the way. So I'm going to give a very brief overview. And please put it in the chat. Does anyone know a little bit about my background? Does anyone know who I am and kind of my upbringing, anything like that? If you would have followed me on socials, you might have heard a little bit about my background and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Right. Well, I'll give an overview, right? I'm just going to state the obvious. I'm covered in tattoos. I spent half my life as a skinhead in terms of I had no hair. I looked quite rough. I got a neck tattoo, as I keep getting reminded by some people on social media. He's got a neck tattoo. And I came from a family that has never had money. My mum and dad, bless them, even to this day, they have barely anything. They've worked hard. I do come from I was born on a council estate. I used to hang around with pretty rough kiddies. I boxed for many years. And I was going down a very, very dodgy path in my late teens. My parents used to be called into the school all the time. I used to like getting up to mischief. I used to have a bit of a rough streak about me back in the day. And I never knew money. I've never known money. And I just want to say, we're going to get to the end. I'm in a very different situation now at 31 years old. I do have financial freedom. I have time freedom as well. So I do exactly what I want every single day. I'm no longer in a job. I haven't been in a job for many years now, and I've sort of gone on to build businesses which bring me, what we hear of as passive income, right? It is a real thing. But my upbringing never gave me any leg up in order to have what I have today. And I'm far from the definition of success. I have truly come from nothing. And what I'm going to dive into today is I'm going to open up all of your eyes to the possibility of the world that we're in. We are truly in a place where we're in abundance of information. We have things like this, these free webinars. We have incredible people like Simon who bring stuff like this together, and everyone can learn, right? So what I'm going to take you through in a little bit is a PowerPoint of breaking down kind of the world that we're in, the possibility, and how money management and having a rich mindset will dramatically change the direction in which you go. So once upon a time, I've seen my parents have no money, and the saying of money is the root of all evil is one of the biggest lies you're ever going to be told. Daniel Priestley, who I recently interviewed, said it perfectly. Your environment dictates performance. And what that means is whoever's whispering in your ear every single day, be very, very careful. We should be talking about money more. We should be looking after money. And I'm going to come on to what I call fuck you money. And I'm going to try not to swear too much, actually, because I don't want to pee Simon off, just in case I swear too much. But there's something called fuck you money. I will say that. I had a lot of that. I built that up over many years. And that allowed me to hold my head high, chest proud. And I never put up with shit in the workplace. I've seen workplace politics. I've seen it all. And there are a lot of people who lose self-esteem. They lack confidence. They suffer from anxiety, depression. They're on tablets. They're unhappy with their partners. They're unhappy with their family. And it all comes from a lack of financial empowerment. So I'm going to go through all of that. I'm going to make this very empowering to people. I'm really going to try and open up your eyes that when you get a backbone, it's because you are looking after your money. And what I want to say as well is everyone here, I'll tell you what, let me ask all of you here, who thinks that they can afford private medical care? One of the most important things. I have private medical care for my entire family. My dad recently had a massive hernia removed. Like that. He didn't have to wait 13 weeks for it to become a big problem. Who here thinks that they can afford private medical care for your family? For a family of 4, an average. Who believes it? Possibly with a good budget? Nope. No, I have AXA. Great. I'm with AXA as well. Yes, I have changed my mindset and treated myself to private medical care. Great. No, I think so. Okay, typically we're seeing a lot of it come in. No. It's a mindset thing. Again, environment dictates performance. What have you known? Who do you listen to? What kind of old narratives? Is business risky? No, it's not. It's an old narrative. Do all 90% of businesses fail in the first 2 years? No, it's 18.4% is the new figure. 18.4%. So there's a lot of old narratives. Private medical care supposedly is only for the rich. It's not. It's for everyone. And I'm going to explain how everyone can afford private medical care. One of the most important things that we all need, especially in the UK, where the NHS at the moment is crumbling and failing a lot of people. So I'm going to go through all of that, right? So at this moment in time, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try to remember the people that are being really interactive. Because at the end, like I said, I'm going to do 5 giveaways, okay? In my country, people used to say, if you are rich, you probably stole money. Okay. Well, you know, being wealthy, having money is a good thing. Who here believes that you can have happiness without money? I just really want to get to grips with everyone's mindset around money. Who believes that that happiness is the root cause of money? Does anyone believe that? I do. So I'll put my hand up. I've seen no money. I've seen the struggles. I've seen the hardship. I will never go back to not having money. And remember, money, the physical money, the green paper, it's a tool. It's a vehicle, right? Who believes, okay, great. Who believes the best things in life are free? That's a hard one to answer. Okay, I don't think so. Okay. Who believes, next question, who believes the best things in life are free? And by the way, I'm a very bullish person, by the way. I come in very hard. I don't beat around the bush. I have no victim mindset. So I'm going to get very, very full on in a minute. That's just my personality. That's the way that I've been brought up. So it's all said with love, but I'm going to be coming in very hard in a minute. Nothing is free. Absolutely. The best things in life are not free. Has anyone ever seen a homeless person that looks healthy? Have you ever created memories with your family going on holiday that was for free? Have any of you here gone to Disneyland and made I've been to Disneyland for the last few years consecutively, and I'm going again this year. Relationships you can't have without money. So it's a great one. How many times can you walk around the park for free with no coffee, drinking tap water, walking to the park, walking home, going back into a house where you've got no gas and electric and you're not eating any food without money? Everything revolves around money. Everything. Otherwise it would be boring. You need money, gas, electric, petrol, car insurance, tax. And again, statistically, 85% of working adults in the UK hate their job. Let me just remind everyone, I'm going to come on to this later. 85% of UK working adults, which is 43 million adults, this was a survey done last year, hate their jobs. And why do they remain in their jobs? Because they do not have financial empowerment, or AKA fuck you money. You're not talking to me like that, Mr. Manager, or you're not talking to me like that, human resource rep. You're not putting me on a performance review. I'm not putting up with that. I will not be bullied. I will not be harassed. I will not be discriminated. When you have fuck you money and you know that every single bill will be paid at the end of the month, you hold your head up, you're very content, your self-esteem is high, you're confident, and you don't put up with shit. I never put up with shit in the workplace. So again, we're gonna go into all of this, right? Again, I must remind people, I'm very full on. Like, I'm very cutthroat, by the way. It's how I've been able to get to where I am, because I don't beat around the bush. So money is everything, and it's how you look after it. Obviously, this won't relate to anyone that was born on the West Wing with a silver spoon up the bottom, because if you were, then all you've ever known is money. But I'm assuming everyone here wasn't born on the West Wing with a silver spoon, or has got a rich uncle or something like that. Okay, I left a career to buy land. Now I work with the land to earn a living. Love it. No boss, no one telling me what to do. Great. We're going to come on to that in terms of not having to put up with shit. We're going to come on to managing money. We're going to go through this PowerPoint. But one thing, when you get your shit together with money, we've sort of jumped the gun here. You don't put up with shit. I wake up every day. I don't answer to anyone other than my wife. That is it. I don't answer to anyone. I don't have to do as anyone says, tells me timings, be here, be there. I do exactly what I want. And it is extremely fulfilling, or as Simon would say, real purpose. And I'm a big believer. But the great thing is all of you can have this, by the way. I'm going to go through it. So what I'm going to do is, hey, Rajesh, how's it going, mate? The perfect work-life balance. It's a big influence. Wives rule. There we go. Well, there we go. Happy wife, happy life, right? I have a small marketing company, but my parents helped me out. I put up with my parents. I suppose one can argue which is worse, putting up with a parent or a boss. Well, look, I'm not a big believer in blood is thicker than water. We're going to come on to sacrifice very soon. If you do want success. Also, can I just ask, who here is in employment at the moment? Who's fully employed, not running a business? Who is in employment right now? Okay, great. Anyone else? Okay, cool. You know, there's nothing wrong with employment, by the way. There's no right or wrong. For someone who runs businesses, I do believe the grass is greener. I think Simon would say the same thing. That's why Simon and I get on. But there are limitations with the employed world. You can only grow so quick. You can only earn so much money. You are overused. You're overworked. You're not appreciated. There's lack of compassion. There's a lack of empathy. There's a lack of respect. And a lot of the way people will talk to you will determine the pay packet you're on. And there's a lot of grief, right? How do you overcome that? Well, business normally is the escape, right? So we're going to go through. We're going to keep this on finances. So I'm going to share with everyone here a PowerPoint, right? Let's go through this, right? I enjoy this. I've been in finance now. I started at an investment firm nearly 10 years ago, which got me out of my job. Now, managing money like a millionaire, rich mindset versus poor. You can dramatically change your life when you start getting your shit together when it comes to your money. And I'm going to go through some home truths, which sometimes the truth hurts, right? 85% of working adults in the UK hate their job. That wasn't me. That's an actual statistic that was done last year on a survey. Also on Gallup's, which is a huge company, survey company. That's 43 million working adults. So why are more people not making moves to start something when the risk is so low and the success rate now so high? Okay, because the average salary is only £1,600, right? The average UK salary is £1,600. I promise you, well, Olivia, yeah, it'd be higher in other countries. If we did a number globally, you're talking higher. But just in the UK, it's shocking, right? So how do we get out of these positions, right? How do we stop going into work meetings? How do we stop being told what to do and being spoken to disrespectfully? How do we get to the stage where we're not having to ask a manager if you can have time off for a fucking funeral? You know, it's nuts. Excuse me, Mr. or Mrs. Manager, could I have some time off because my mum passed away for a funeral? Well, you know, we haven't got cover. No, bollocks to that. I'm going. Fuck you. So you need some fuck you money. But let's go through the truth of excuses and let's go through denial versus the truth. It's important we attack most of the financial problems in society today, right? Let's go through this. The truth of excuses. Now, to start a business, I just want to say you don't really need any money unless you are starting a tech company, which Simon will know this as an angel investor. I work with many angel investors. But you can go into what's called an incubator anyway. So if you didn't have the money to start a tech company or a software, or you thought you had the next big idea, great, love it. And if you don't have the money to start a tech company, you can go into what is called an incubator. You know, we can talk about that another time. But to start a business, typically you're talking about £200 to £300 max. So when people turn around to you, I want everyone to say this, right? When someone turns around to you and says, oh, I wouldn't start a business, that's very risky, I want everyone to say to them, how many businesses have you run then? Telling me it's risky. And they'll go, well, what do you mean? Well, you're telling me business is risky. How many businesses have you run in the 21st century? And they'll go, well, none. Right. What are you going on about then? You know, cut off negativity. I don't have anyone toxic or negative in my circles. I'm around very ambitious people. That's the way that I like it. So starting a new business, max £200 to £300, maybe a limited company, maybe a bit of branding, bit of Fiverr.com, whatever. People won't spend that. But buying a new phone or materialistic items, £500 to £1,000, not a problem. Healthy eating or supplements. I'm on Lion. I have Lion Prep food, which I'm now getting for free. Woohoo! But I invest into my healthy food. You know, £100 to £150 healthy food. People will go, what? Oh, that's a lot of money. £150 on protein, some good food, some organic stuff. Oh, that sounds a little bit much. But people will go out on a Friday and Saturday night doing fucking dinner, drugs and drinks and fags and booze. And they'll claim they haven't got any money and they'll do 150, 200 a night. People live for the weekend. Let me just throw this out there. Just let this sink in. Just let this sink in. Isn't it crazy, bonkers, nuts, mind-blowing that most people will book a holiday to escape reality? I used to hear it all the time. Oh, mate, I can't wait to go on my holiday. Oh, I just can't wait to get away from this place. And I used to think, fucking hell, why are you booking a holiday to escape? When I book a holiday, I can't fucking wait to go, but I can't wait to get back because I've got passion in what I do. I love it. And you hear these people go, oh, I've only got 2 more days of my holiday and then I've got to go back to work. Then why are you not doing anything about it? Why are we not actively? Again, it comes from a lack of financial empowerment. If I gave everyone here 100 grand, all of you would go into your workplace going, fuck you, you can't talk to me like that. Can we have, you know, Sophie, can we put you on a performance review? No, fuck you, because I've got 100 grand in the bank. I can leave at any moment. Right, let me read a couple of these out. We grow organic food for local restaurants. Yay, means we get a lot of nutritious food for free. Great. I never to this day wonder why someone who says they're broke, living paycheck to paycheck, yet they have a 1,000 to 1,500 to pay for the exactly, right? So dinner, drinks, fags, booze, all that kind of things, £100 to £200. Starting a business whilst working 2 to 3 hours extra a day. Oh, I'm not doing that. Oh, I'm not doing that. When I finished my 8 to 10 hour shift or 20-hour shift, I'm going home, I'm kicking back, I'm watching Netflix, and I'm going to scroll on social media for fucking 2 to 4 hours, mind-numbing myself, becoming a fat, slobby potato couch, and that's what I'm going to do. Well, why didn't you start a business doing an extra 2 to 3 hours at home? Oh, I'm not doing that. No, I'd rather scroll on social media, looking at nothing, becoming mind-numb, you know? It's priorities. Denial versus the truth. I have no time to build a business outside of work. I used to do 40 plus hours a week. I used to come home. I would say hello to my family, my wife and my son. I was 19, going on 20. When I realized needed to start a business, I started changing my network. I used to come in from doing a 10-hour shift. I used to go up, I used to plug in my headphones, my AirPods. Some of you have seen this. If you go on my main Instagram, it's called Aaron Knightly Official. Click the top left video, which is pinned. You'll see a little bit about my life. I used to work 2-3 hours during the night, every night. If you want to escape your situation and you want to run a business, have more purpose, avoid midlife crisis and avoid regret, weekends don't fucking exist, by the way, for the first 2-3 years. Anyone will tell you that. Anyone who has run a successful business and isn't in employment anymore, write the weekends off. If you like your weekends, forget about it. You're not going to be running a business. You have to cut off the weekends. For 2, 3, 4 years, I lived like a hermit. I lived like a pauper and I lived like a hermit. The denial, I have no time to build a business. The truth, you do have time to scroll on social media. The denial, I have no money to invest to start a brand or a business. The truth, I prefer to spend my money on materialistic things, takeaways and crap. The denial, the rich are greedy. They're horrible. They steal from the poor. Money is evil. It's the root of all evil. It's not. The truth is that's an insecurity that you don't want to learn about money, or perhaps your parents had just really bad money problems. Maybe your parents were in debt. The good news is it doesn't matter what your parents did. My parents have never had money. It didn't mean that I was gonna be on a council estate my entire life, listening to listening to people shout at each other, watching the ex-bullies go up and down the street with a big chain on it. I've seen it all. I've been there. I've done it. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've seen people fighting in the street. You name it, I've seen it. It doesn't mean that's how it has to be forever, right? You make moves. Again, environment dictates performance. Here we go. Exactly. If you're a dickhead and you end up becoming a millionaire, you're probably going to be a really big knob. If you're a really nice, charitable, family-driven person and you end up developing money through success, you're probably gonna amplify that and you'll be a really nice person, right? And we're going to come on to all of this. Private medical care. Here we go. So the average, just to let you know, the average, and again, we need to stop listening to people who haven't got a clue. People who turn around and say business is risky. They've never run a business. And we're not in the 80s and 90s anymore. A business is literally sitting on your sofa, opening up your laptop and building a digital platform and understanding service and product and market demand, and then putting in the time. So private medical care on average, by the way, for a family of 4 is between 4,000 to 7,000 per annum. Most people can afford this. They just think they can't. They're writing it off before they ever actually look into it. Average poor mindset spend, fags per week, 50 times 52 over the year, 2.6. Booze per week. This is conservative. We all know people, by the way, who are spending far more than this. 50 times £50, 52 weeks of the year, another 2.6. A lot of people do drugs. Whether you want to admit it or not, a lot of people do. I've never done drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke, by the way. £30 times 21 weeks, right? We've been conservative, 630 quid. Food takeaways per week, £50 times 30 weeks, 1,500. Dating, clubbing, nights out. It's really cool to be single, want to be single for the rest of my life, whatever, right? Dating people every other week, throwing yourself about, £80, 30 weeks, 2.4. Non-essential direct debits. We've all been there. Netflix, Now TV, you name it, Adobe, whatever, right? £20 times 12 months, 240. Total spend, nearly 10 grand a year. It's insane. It's insane. So you need to do, if you're not in a place where you want to be right now, you need to sit back with yourself, your partner, and say, right, look, the world's pretty tough. Let's have a look at our finances. Let's have a look at our finances. What comes in and what goes out? So my next question to everyone, I always ask, this is a 3-part question. Here we go. This is always interesting, right? There's no right or wrong. There's no judging. There's no pointing fingers, but this one's an interesting one. Who here has 6 months liquid expenses in an account which would cover all of your bills and conservatively a little bit more, 6 months liquid cash right now. They're absolutely, yeah, you're absolutely right. There is no such thing as a stable job. It's total fabrication. Yeah, okay, we've got some people saying, yeah, not yet, not yet. Okay, everyone else, quickly answer. Great. Okay, Simon says yes. Okay, cool. Anyone else? Let's get everyone's answers in. Okay, look, great. So the second question now, the next two questions are only for the people who said no. And it's all about being honest, by the way. Whether you're honest or not, it makes no difference to my life, but at least we're getting somewhere if you're honest. For everyone who said no, in the last 3 months, have you gone out for a restaurant meal or bought anything which would be classed as a materialistic item or a luxury item, which you didn't really need in the last 3 months? The answer, I'd be gobsmacked if it was no. Okay. Yeah. Gym membership, I'd say is a more of an investment. So we can waiver that one. Okay, look, so for everyone that put yes, you have spent something on a materialistic item. The third question is, and how many of you want to get out of your job and eventually run a business and actually escape the 9 to 5 life? Who wants to actually end up running your own business and escape and live a fulfilled life? We are in a world, by the way, now where business is built around your lifestyle. They're called lifestyle businesses. Forget the daunting image of a business being a warehouse, an office, vehicles, staff, tax advisors, limited companies, loads of books, printers, laptops. Forget all of that. A business now is your laptop and your phone. That is it. That's it. That is a business. That is the beginning part of the business. So my question to all of those people, you're not sacrificing enough. You need to be putting that money. You haven't earned or justified to be going out spending money on restaurant meals. You're not there yet. I'll just let you all know, again, I'm very, very bullish. If I had to say to my family right now, right, we're not going on holiday for the next 5 years. We're not going to be going out to restaurant meals and we're not having a takeaway for the next 3 years. That's what we will do. I would not go on holiday for the next 5 years if it meant my success in 5 years plus time. What are you willing to sacrifice in order to change your financial situation? Okay, look, let's carry on diving into this. Typical people, right? Most people here enjoy life. This was most people. This was a lot of people that I went to school with. We're going to go on holiday. We're going to go to Bali. We're going to spend all our money. We're going to go to Australia. We're going to get a photo with an elephant. We're going to put a photo album together. It's all going to look great. And then we're going to come home and we might still have to live with mum and dad and our finances aren't great. And now life's really shit. So not a lot of people are planning for their pension. Not a lot of people are thinking long term. Not a lot of people are looking after their health so that they can enjoy their investments when they're 50 and 60. This was me. In my early 20s, I had my turning point. You need to know your reason why. You need to know your reason why. Mine was, there is no chance I am not having money like my mum and dad did. I saw the struggle. I felt the struggle. I felt the tension. And so did my sister. I didn't want to be around people who were talking about drugs, gangs, fighting. I didn't want to be around that anymore. I refused. And when my wife had my son at 20, when I was 20 years old, and I was going down a bit of a different path, I knew it was, Aaron, you've got an entrepreneurial flair, you've got drive, fucking pull your finger out, boy, and get on with it. And that's when I started making moves. So I grinded my ass off in my early 20s. And by 23, I'd done 6 figures. By 23, I went hard. I go all in. And now I'm at this stage. Now I can actually, now when I go on holiday, I can enjoy it. When we go away and do things, I can enjoy it. I still work all the time because I love it, just like Simon does, just like a lot of my friends. It's It's all possible, by the way. Like there's no secret sauce. It's just discipline, commitment, and not having negative people around you. It's quite simple, to be honest with you. Right, so I'm going to take you through some things. I run an investment company. It's called Knightly Investments. I started it 10 years ago. I got my first ever office in Mayfair a long time ago. It was one of my proudest moments. And I've looked after my money, and now truly the saying goes, my money now actually looks after me, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful for the decisions that I made in my early 20s. Now, when you get paid, I'd like everyone to start flipping the switch. This is just a basic overview. I have 32 bank accounts, so I really manage a lot of my income. I've got 14 streams of income, so I have to be very, very smart in the way that I manage my bank accounts. 32 bank accounts, yeah, and I've got 14 streams of income. So I have to make sure that it's all automated, systemized, and there's no emotion involved, and it runs like an operation, which I'm going to share with you. So number one, you have to pay off debt. This is when you get paid. Number two, you should be building your emergency fund. I've got all these videos on my YouTube channel, by the way, if you wanted to look at more long form. You must be paying into your maintenance fund. If you have any questions on any of these funds, ask and I'll answer them for you. You have to pay into your floating fund. This is the juicy one. This is the sexy one. This is what allowed me to sit in the meetings. And when some of my managers said to me, Aaron, you've got to do this, I'd go, oh, I'm not fucking doing that. And when my managers and senior area managers will go, what do you mean you're not doing that? I go, I'm not doing that. That's the manager's job. Well, Aaron, we're not asking you. No, 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 no. You are asking me. Treat me with a bit of respect. You are asking me. Because I had fuck you money. I didn't have to sit there and cower up and say, yes, I'll do it and be a yes man or a yes woman. No, I barely fucking did anything. If I didn't want to do it, I didn't fucking do it because I had fuck you money. You need to get yourself some. So you need a floating fund. After that, you must be paying into your cash. No, Tabitha, believe it or not, I'm very, very bullish. But anyone that knows me personally, I'm extremely respectful, extremely helpful, have a lot of compassion, a lot of empathy, and a lot of the problems in the workplace are never, ever integrated into any of the stuff that we build out as businesses and the people that work with us. I saw a lot of problems. And quite frankly, those who didn't treat me with respect, they got none back. And I couldn't stand the workplace politics, the way that people, how the area manager would talk to a cleaner is not okay. Everyone respect does not differ depending on your pay packet. If some of you earn more money than me or vice versa, and I earn more money than you, or if I have a bigger following on social media, does that make me a better person? No. So the respect levels for a human being should never change. And that really bugged me in the workplace, really bugged me. So you must pay into a cash savings. Then it must go into your stocks and shares ISA. There's no financial advice here. This is what I do. And mine's actually more in depth. I then go into a private pension. I then go into a savings account. It then goes into an investment account. This is all automatic on standing orders, by the way. Then it goes into speculative funds. It might be tokens you're interested in, maybe hand-picked stocks, whatever. Then I pay into my child's account. Then into your education, super important. Then into a war chest or venture capital. Then it's important to give back. I do a lot of charity stuff every year. And then at the bottom, if you have enough money left, this is where you can treat yourself. Fun money could be maybe a family holiday. And if you have enough left over and you want to go and buy something materialistic because you want to show off to people or whatever, or you want a marble kitchen so that when people come over and they go, what a lovely marble kitchen you got there. No one fucking cares, by the way. Then you can go buy luxuries. So a war chest is having a pot of money like venture capital where you can invest into a business. Maybe you like coffee and you want to start a little coffee business and you want to buy an old horse trailer and convert it into a little coffee bar. Or maybe you want to start a little brand and you need, £400 or £500 to start it. So it's quick liquid capital. So Simon, as an angel investor, Simon will have a lot of venture capital sitting there in a pot that he can deploy at any one time to invest into a business. And that's essentially what it is, right? So this is the order that you should be having standing orders set up before, but most people, they go and buy this. They'll work Monday to Friday. They can't stand their situation. And then they go and spend it all on a Saturday or a Friday. You get the respect that you deserve. My work is never, ever appreciated or as respected. I left a totally toxic environment. Let's just shut up. Power mad managers, competitive colleagues, and on top of that, I personally hated a 1.5 hour commute. Okay, yeah, look, and you're in a pool with many. You're in a pool with many. This is the thing. It's very common. So how can you manage your money? Well, this is a basic. If you have 3 streams of income, I teach all my breakout members this, right? But this is how you should be setting up your finances. So how many bank accounts has everyone got? And that's including a current account and a savings account. How many accounts have you all got? Okay, cool. All right, good. Adam's got 9. Good. Simon's got 9. Great. Okay, cool. Well, the reason you need more is because you need to systemize. You need to start as you mean to go on. So again, ties in with the rich mindset, poor mindset. You don't need to be rich to start. You know, get in the mindset of the person that you want to be 3 or 5 years down the road. Start operating like a highly efficient and professional business. Super, super important. So what you want to do is, this is based on a 12 account setup, right? So you've got 3 streams of income. Right, I've put some banks here that you can use. I've got a lot of banks that I use. When the money comes in, you automatically want to be paying into your savings, maintenance, and floating. Those are your 3 core pillars. These 3 funds here are going to give you that. Don't be fucking talking to me like that. This is what's going to allow you to say to a manager or someone when they talk to you disrespectfully, I think you need to rethink what you're going to say to me. And when they go, you're going to go, I'm in a position that I can come back at you pretty hard here because I can financially support myself. I'm not reliant on your monthly pay packet. You need to take back power. I can't stress it enough, people. Get back financial power. It's fucking great. I promise you, the day that I quit my job was one of the best days ever. Honestly, it was a beautiful taste. And many of you, I hope, will taste it one day. But you need these 3 funds in order to do that. After that, it needs to then go into your venture capital, into investment funds, marketing funds, tax, national insurance, corporation, whatever you're set up as, fund money, and reserve funds. And then, of course, you know, you can run 3 like investment accounts. I have these 3 here. So I run my own private pension. I run my stocks and shares. And then I have my speculative stuff. Okay. It's so important you take the emotions out of it. Never lend anyone money, by the way, because who can relate to this? You know, if you owe someone money, I've never owed anyone any money, but I've seen many a times where people are like, oh, I've got to pay this guy back, or the emotion comes into it. You know, if you were going to owe someone money, like 200 quid, and you think, oh, I've just been paid. I've just been invited to go out for that restaurant meal and then for a couple of drinks after. But fucking, I've got to pay that guy back. That's all right. I'll do it next week. There's an emotion involved. You need to take emotions out of finances. You owe a guy money, 200 quid, set up a standing order every week, 50 quid. You can't get emotional about finances. Now, I want to go over the true reality. If you don't change your life and you don't take responsibility and you don't make the sacrifices needed, you aren't disciplined, you aren't setting yourself up for success by having good routines, you are going to come into regret. A midlife crisis is essentially where someone of a certain age, doesn't have to be a midlife, because we're seeing people at fucking 18 years old having a midlife crisis right now. But I truly believe people are feeling that regret feeling because you knew you could have done more. Just imagine all of you sacrifice the next 2 years of your life. So what? Sacrifice going out for the next 2 years of your life. Don't go on holiday with your family for the next 2 years. What's the worst that's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing bad is going to happen. What you're going to do is you're going to develop discipline. You're going to be in a better financial position. You would have worked towards something that I hope would have dramatically changed your life. You would have been accountable more. When you develop accountability, you really feel that you can start taking control. What's life all about? Control and choices. What can you control and what are the choices that you're going to make? Well, I could control whether I was going to spend excess amount of money. I could control that. All of this, by the way, is so simplistic. Like, you'd be listening thinking, yeah, I really need to change my life and, I'm going to do that. But you can, like, you can do it. Honestly, if any of you do watch that video of my life, you have a look at what I look like. You would have crossed the road if you saw me. I look very sweet and innocent now, perhaps. Maybe I don't know. But I've got hair, got a bit of a beard now. I used to look like a thug. I used to hang around with pretty nasty people. I used to be a bit of a boy. I didn't even used to talk like this because of the clients and the businesses and the way that I've evolved. I never used to talk like this. I talk very clearly, very quick. I know exactly what I'm saying. I'm very I say it with authority and I say it with passion because I've changed over 10 years. I didn't talk like this 10 years ago. I didn't talk like a roadman by any means, but I didn't talk like this 10 years ago because I've taken accountability. Don't blame other people. That's a very common one. Blaming the cost of living. I do a lot of videos on TikTok and I did a video. I do videos on cost of living. And let me ask everyone, sometimes this is going to be a push on, this is said with love. What I'm about to say is said with love. It's a push and pull effect. Money is just a tool. It's just like a hammer. It depends on how you wield it. Most people use money like a sieve and then they wonder why they don't have any. Be disciplined. Absolutely. Let me ask everyone here, who believes in the cost of living crisis? Who believes in the cost of living crisis? Okay. Right. Okay, cool. Okay, so here we go. Again, it's the way we view things. Again, environment dictates performance. I'm going to give you my perspective. I get very passionate about this. I've never been given anything. I've taken responsibility for my failures, rejections, successes. I've never been given anything. Number one, never watch the news. There is nothing good in the news. Rape, terrorism, gangs, Putin, Ukraine, Palestine. There is nothing good in the news. Stock market crashes, corruption, siphoning off money, COVID. There is nothing good in the news. So number one for everyone here, please turn off the news. Don't listen to the radio. I don't consume any news. So what that is that's a healthy ignorance is bliss. Now, is it total ignorance is bliss about the fact that prices are going up? Of course, it's called cost of living. Now, when people say, yes, but Aaron, we're in a recession. I'll go, well, where did you get that information from? Well, I saw it on BBC. It's all over the papers. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah, it's called clickbait, dude. Or ma'am, chill. It's clickbait. It's just called cost of living. It's just that we've thrown on the crisis. We've thrown on the word crisis. Am I overly affected by the price increases? No, because every single day of my life, I improve on my earnings. I learn, I evolve, I apply. Rinse, repeat. I learn, I evolve, I apply. I don't listen to the news. I learn, I evolve, I apply. One more time. I learn, I evolve, and I apply. I don't hoard fucking knowledge. I get on with it. I don't get sucked into this cost of living. Oh, bread's gone up, petrol's gone up, it's really tough, gas in Ileki's gone up. Come on. Learn, evolve, apply, and you will not notice any crashes, recessions, or crises. Now, caveat, on the other side as well, let me say this. Has anyone ever studied the financial Dow Jones history, the last 100 years? Has anyone even looked at the last 100 years on the financial, on the Dow Jones? I'll tell you what, bear with me, right? I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you all do it in your own time. I won't pull it up now because I'll have to go on it. After this webinar, this is what irritates me about people, and I'm gonna do some sketch here because I used to know them. You'll get all the people in the pub. Oh, Lecky's gone up so much. It's really tough. Life's so tough. Life's so. I'll have another pint, Dave. Cheers, mate. Yeah, life's life's so tough at the moment. I'll have a Ruby Murray with you later, Dave. You know, I've seen all of it. We know these types of people. They'll be the ones to moan about the cost of living. Whereas meanwhile, people like us will be grafting and learning and applying. Now, if you look at the financial history over the last 100 years, I don't need to tell you that the next 5 years, there'll be another crash. In the next 5 years, there'll be another crash. Every 10 to 20 years, there is some financial drop, recession, crisis, whatever you want to call it. Go and look at the last 100 years. So my question to people would be, we can look at a chart, the industrial Dow Jones, right? The industrial chart, which tells you every financial movement. We can see that it does this. So why do we not plan to ride the wave? You pump your tyres up, make sure you've got oil and petrol if you're going to go to Thorpe Park for the day with your family, don't you? You put your seatbelt on. So why do people not go, right, well, I haven't got any money in the bank. I do spend a lot on takeaways. I've got no emergency fund and I don't really like my job. And there's probably going to be another crash financially, whether that's in the housing market or whether that's going to be just economically across food, petrol and stuff like that. I wonder if I should plan for it and maybe start saving. Nah, I'll go buy some fucking Levi's. That's what most people do. Whereas I'm thinking, right, Aaron, am I going to have enough money when I'm older for my wife and I, and when my son's grown up and he's gone off? Are we going to have enough money to have a private nursing home if we need one? Are we going to be able to afford private medical care? Are we going to still be able to go on 2 holidays a year? Are we both going to be healthy, mobile, flexible, good cardiovascular? Are we going to need continued gym membership? We're going to need cars. We're going to need, obviously, to buy a holiday. We're going to need to do this rather than going into a government given sort of state nursing home, whereas if you fall on the floor, they're just going to kick you and throw you up and shout at you. Or do I want to go into a really nice home that's got good reviews, that they look after you? I'm going to need some money for that. Or should I buy another Ruby Murray this week, even though I haven't got the fucking money to? I mean, it's true. You know, most people don't look at their retirement. You know, who's paying into a private pension? Who's planning for their retirement 20 years down the line? Who's going to be living on Sainsbury's own beans, or who's still going to be able to afford to go to the Ivy every now and again? Everyone's got the possibility. But again, it comes down to sacrifice. What are people willing to sacrifice for the short term? I mean, it's just, honestly, it blows my mind that sometimes we do fall into a bit of a victim mindset. Well, the world's really tough. I suppose I'll just put up with it. No, learn, evolve, learn and apply. You know, I'm not most people. We reuse everything, live very lightly on the planet, but clothes from charity shops, grow our own, conserve energy. Great. Live a very financially lean lifestyle. Try and earn as much money as you can and have very small outgoings. So try and live that really financially lean lifestyle. How much money can you bring in from your main job, a side hustle, hopefully then into a full-time job, and try and spend very little. I'm at home today, I'm working from at home, but I might work from a bar or a nice sort of restaurant cafe, or I'll go into London and I'll work from places like the Ned, you know, and I'm lucky now that I have that time freedom. But I live a very, very, very lean lifestyle. For anyone that's followed me for a little while, most of my clothes are from a bit of Primani. Love a bit of Primani. I've got my Primani joggers on right now. I wear my own merch, but pretty much most of my clothes are from H&M or Primani. That's it. I don't spend money on fancy things. We don't try to impress people who don't give a shit. Okay? So there are 4 evaluations that everyone needs to do as of today. Things can be done really quick to change your life. Number 1, self-evaluation. Do you believe in yourself? Have you got the mindset? Are you determined? Are you disciplined? Are you willing to make sacrifices? Have you got to cut off a family member that keeps whispering negative things in your ear? Have you got a friend that keeps ringing you up and saying, do you want to meet up for a coffee and we can just gas about the news? Or, you know, they'll just chew your ear off moaning about all of their problems. So you have to do a self-evaluation. Are you cut out to change your life? And what is your reason why? Number two, time evaluation. Every single person has time. I'm going to ask, I think I probably know the answer, but who here doesn't have time to change their life? Or who here as well doesn't have time to build a business? Anyone? This one makes me laugh. I love doing these ones on TikTok live streams. Tumbleweed. Anyone else? Let's get involved. Let's get involved. Who else? Who thinks they have time? Do you have time? Do you not have time? Everyone has time. Every single person on this planet. Single mum, single dad, you've only got one leg, you've only got one arm, you've all got bloody time. Every single solitary damn person has time. It is priorities. That's all it is. It's freaking priorities. That's it. There's no argument about it. I'd never have anyone tell me, Aaron, I don't have time. Go on then, why haven't you got time? Well, I've got a young family. So did I. Next one. Well, I come from a council estate. Next one. So did I. Well, I work full time. Next one. So did I. Well, I'm really tired. Next one. So do I. There's no excuse. Everyone has time. Social evaluation. This one can be tough for people. Who has negative people here? Who has negative people in their life that they're still holding on to? Who knows that you need to change your social circle? Imagine being in the heart of London, vibrant, ambitious, driven, success, money. Environment is so key. If you live in the back of Wales and your village has a population of 7.5 people, you're not going to be very inspired and it can be quite tough. So you're going to need to consciously make that effort to go to the cities. Ask yourself the question, how many cities have you been to in the last year? How many places have you gone? How many new people have you met that you go, fucking love that. They inspired me. Oh my God, I can't believe that they came from a similar background to me. You have to change your environment. What if those negative people give you money? In what respect? My son lives with me, is toxic, but has PTSD. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's well above my pay grade. That's a really tough one to answer. I might need to add to my social circle. Yes, I did at my previous work. When you have work colleagues like mine, who really needs enemies? Rajesh, that tickled me. Okay, I've got a question here. Yes, I have had some of those people. I have a question about this. How did the conversation look when you cut the toxic people out, mainly family? Okay, great one. I'm going to answer this. So how do you cut off toxic family members? I'll share this. I don't normally talk about this on my live streams too much, but like I say, I don't come from a family of money. And when I was growing up with my sister, I love my sister to bits. She's older than me. And I've grown up with her my whole life. We've done loads together. I have a niece and I have a nephew. But I cut my sister off 100%. I don't see my niece or nephew either. And, and some might say it's ruthless, but it's honestly neither here or there with me. Blood is not thicker than water. She became very toxic about me and what I was doing and my achievements at the time. And even my brother-in-law, who's her husband, and people around her were pointing the finger. They were talking about me. They were saying he's never going to make anything. Comments were said around family tables, and I really hoarded all of this almost hate for my sister, how she just constantly put me down and I was never going to be able to, because she remembers the Aaron that used to be, the Aaron that used to get into trouble, the Aaron, and she could never let go of it. Even my brother-in-law, they wanted to hold on to what I used to be like, and they couldn't quite fathom that I have changed and that actually I've gone on to now sort of surpass my sister, and my sister married into money. So there was a huge jealousy thing. And in the end, I cut off my sister. I actually turned up and I cut her off, and I never see my sister. I haven't seen her now for several years. I won't. I might go my whole life without ever seeing her again. I don't see my niece or nephew. But do you know what? It's honestly, I'm quite ruthless. It doesn't faze me. I don't lose a wink of sleep over it. And some people can't compartmentalize. I can literally take one thing and I can separate it. It's not a bad thing, by the way. People just want to keep you in that little box. They do. People will tell you that they want you to do well, but as soon as you start surpassing and they can see the results, you'll soon see. You know, there's a great saying, why does a Bugatti or a Porsche or a Lambo only have 2 seats? Because the friendship in success is very small. That's why a bus has seats of 30 and 40. It's hard when your close ones tell you you don't know anything about having a business, you don't have money. The hardest part, but remember this, Frank Sinatra said it perfectly. The best form of revenge is success. Let everything that you've ever wanted come to fruition and just let them see the results. It's a great feeling. So your social evaluation, super important. Financial, and then finally, your financial evaluation. Okay, how to escape. So for those of you that are trying to get your money together, you're trying to generate revenue and you're trying to break out of your job, how do you actually escape? You have to educate yourself. Jim Rohn said it perfectly. Self-education will make you a fortune. Formal education will make you a living. You'll become a part of a, you become a part of a cog. Everyone has 2 options in their life. This is very powerful. You can either design a life or you can be assigned a life. Let me say that again. Everyone's got 2 options. There's no discrimination. Whether it doesn't matter where you come from. Honestly, it doesn't matter. You can either be assigned a life. You can be assigned a salary. You can be assigned holiday. You can be assigned everything. Or you can design a life. Super, super simple. Your social circle, who is around you. See your communication. I say this with all the love in the world, but if you know anyone who is talking like a roadman, I promise you now, if you talk like a roadman, people will just think you're a div. You know, you can't be saying to clients, what's up, my G? Can you leave me a review? It's not going to happen. You know, I know some people that they just don't want to change. I'm not changing for anyone. I'm not going to wear a different hat. I'm not going to talk like that because I am who I am. Well, unless you're trying to build a reputation as a grime artist or a trap artist or something like that, then if you end up talking like that, so communication is super, super important. You have to communicate. You have to communicate with all different types of people. You have to adapt. Do you get me, bruv? There we go. Attraction. How do you come across to people? How do people perceive you? Are you good at what you do? You know, are you looking after yourself? You know, I will say this. I love my fitness. This year, I'm on a huge, I'm doing Tough Mudder next month. I'm climbing Snowdon in March. I've got London to Brighton in June. I'm doing another Tough Mudder. And I'm with guys who are super, super fit. One of them's called Oliver Bennett. He's a professional racing driver. He's in great condition. When you look after your health, you operate at a different level. Again, start as you mean to go on. When you are drinking 4 liters of water a day, you're on herbal teas instead of coffees and actual teas with 2 white sugars. When you look after your physical state, your attraction, you as a human being, you are the brand, you are the business, you are the spearhead of what's going to change. When you look after yourself, you operate at a whole different level. You are a beast. So train harder. Be disciplined with your food. Who here wants to get a doctor's note at 40 years old and you're told, look, I know you're working really hard. You've been trying to change your life, but I'm sorry, you're overweight, your blood pressure's high, you've now got diabetes type C or whatever it is. And you've got other issues going on, and in the next 6 months of your life is probably going to dramatic change, and you've got arthritis and stuff like this. Who wants that? Isn't it nuts? Isn't it crazy? Just let this sink in for a moment. People ask the question how to invest and how to make more money. And then you look at the person and you think, but you're not looking after your body. Why do you want to make more money and invest so that you can enjoy 10, 20 years down the road when you can't even take control of your fucking body? Like, look after yourself. You are another animal when you can say no to food. I mean, I love food. I absolutely love food. But during the week, I am disciplined with my food. Going back to this, 100 to 150 pound on supplements, eating healthy, vitamins, prep food, protein, you know, whatever is going to put you in a better physical shape. You know, even in the workplace, if you go in ripped and shredded and lean as a woman or a man, you do get more respect. When you've got some scrawny little manager who's little pot belly, doesn't wear the trousers outside of the workplace, and you come in chest proud, lean, strict, disciplined, focused, you are left alone, or you're going to increase the chances at least. So attraction is huge in business. Performance. How are you going to analyze what's going on? What are you doing that allows you to measure and improve? So for example, if anyone follows me on TikTok, like Simon, I've grown pretty quick on TikTok. I've done 260 million views. I've grown my channel in 15 months. I've now crossed 6 figures on TikTok collectively in everything that I do. I've been able to measure and make progress because I'm very big on performance. I'm able to actually look at, right, okay, Aaron, I recommend everyone has a big whiteboard, and every day you go to the whiteboard and you map out, right, okay, cool. What's my priorities, to-dos, right? Money's good, great. Okay, today I've got work, but in between my break and canteen, I'm going to do this. Great, right, I'm going to test that. Okay, I'm going to test these business ideas, but I'm not going to spend too much money, too much time. I'm going to trial and error it, right? What works? Tick, 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 tick. You need things to measure. And when you can measure something, you can progress. Okay? And then finally, earn. Right? You need to learn how to actually generate revenue. What business are you going into? Here's the next question. This one always tickles me. Who here knows exactly? I tell you what, firstly, before I give away that one, what do you all need to earn a month to replace your job or to replace your bills? What is the net number conservatively that you need to bring in every month? Right, there's normally an average. What's the number? I'm not on about you buying your Levi jeans and getting your Ruby Murray and your Chinese. I'm on about what's the number that you need to bring in for you and your family so that you eat and that you have heating on and you can have a bath. Okay, great. Now, I've got some really good fucking news for you. Apart from the few people that are above 3K, right? We can come back onto that because that's more than achievable as well. The average there was between 1K and let's call it 2K. Now, I don't say things lightly. Forget the whole fucking 10K a month, right? That's all clickbait. Is it possible? Yes, of course it is. It's absolutely possible to do 10K gross a month. It is. Is it easy? Fucking no, it's not. Of course it's not. 10K is a substantial amount of money. Huge amount of money. You know, most people are living a life of luxury at 10K a month. So forget about that for a second. The good news is to replace your average income of £1,600 a month. I promise you, I say this from experience, that is so doable in about an 18-month period, probably quicker, but you could replace through a very basic digital online setup, service, marketing agency, product base. You know, not being funny, go find a £1 product that you can sell. Everyone can afford £1. Go sell it to everyone a few times a week, every single month, and just go make sure that you get 100, 200,000 views on fucking social media and sell them a £1 product. You'll replace your bloody 1,600 quid a month. I promise you, you can replace your job. A lot of people think that, oh my God, how am I going to replace 1,600 quid? Believe me, get your shit right and learn about business. Learn, evolve, apply, evolve, learn and apply. You'll replace 1,500, 1,600 quid. I promise you that. For the £400,000-500,000, well, you just find that that perfect repeatable week. You know, you need to understand, how did I make those sales? What business was it? And how do I repeat that and double down on it? Again, go into performance, right? Yes, digital ebooks, online manuals, tutorials, guides, you name it. All of that good stuff. All of that good stuff. So that's what you need to look at. Right. I'm going to share with some videos. Now, before we go on to the videos here, which some of you might want to check out, I just want to ask, what is the perfect number for all of you to live a comfortable life? So here we go. Second question. What is the perfect number? Forget fucking 10K. What is that perfect number for you and your family to live a comfortable life that you can book a holiday? You haven't got to go into employment anymore, or you can have a car that you want to pay for. You can do the things that you want to do. What's the perfect number for all of you? Do you even know what it is? Is it £3,781? I'm talking about the number. Give me the number. Don't round it off. What's the perfect number? How many people know the number? So for anyone who said you need £1,000 a month, well, I imagine your life would be pretty damn comfortable at £2,962. Most of you don't know. I'm not after generic numbers here. I'm after what is the number? What's the number? Down to the penny. What is the number? None of you know. None of you know. That's my point. None of you know. So what are you aiming towards? This gives us clarity. Again, performance. How do you even know what you're measuring? None of you even know your own number. Mine at the moment really varies because I'm pumping so much now back into my businesses. So mine is now forever evolving. But when I needed to replace my job and get out of employment, you're talking about £1,300, rounded off, done. Me and my family, we live a very lean life. My number's irrelevant now because it's constantly changing every month because obviously I'm reinvesting, I'm growing. But in order to get out of my job, £1,300 tops is what I needed. Down to the pound. Okay. So you've got to figure out your monthly number. Right. So if any of you want to, I've got a question here. Sorry, I've totally missed. Oh no, I've done that one. Okay, Chris, love it. Rajesh, okay, cool. I don't actually know. To get out my job, it's about 1,200. Okay, so like for you, Sam, just think about that. All you've got to do to get time freedom and that feeling of you haven't got to answer to anyone, all you've got to do is get to £1,200 a month. And then you will have time freedom that you can then work from home on your business. Just £1,200. That's all you need. That's all you need. Basic online businesses can serve that. Exactly. That's literally it. So look, if anyone wants to scan this, you can check out some of these videos. The same QR code will lead you. This video here is very hard hitting. It's basically to pull your head out your ass and not complain about the world. Like I say, I'm very bullish. I just sort of get straight to the point because that's the way I've been brought up. I've never made any excuses. And there's some stuff here. If anyone has an interest in starting an online consulting business, that's a pretty good one. That's one part of my business is consultancy. And that only takes up 5 hours of my time every week. And that's now in excess of about 50 grand salary standard per year for 5 hours a week. There's a lot of my friends that do very similar things. And then there's some free communities that you can join just at the end there. On Instagram, I've got a lot of pages on Instagram just to let everyone know. But you can join in a free employment breakout group. That's just a community of people that are aiming towards the same thing. And then unlock your peak performance. If those who have been commenting, I have taken some notes down. If you can do me a favor and just drop a DM, for example, on our peak performance or on one of the photos, anything like that, any comments, I will be going through with Chloe. I'm going to take a list of names down. I know Chloe's got a list of the names. I have seen some names popping up, by the way. And what I'll do is I'm just going to stop sharing this. So I'm open to questions now. Anything like that, I'm open to questions. I'm just going to scroll up. E-commerce, you can make 1K net quite quickly, or service business if you've not got no capital. I've watched the Money Daniel Priestley video. Awesome. Dominic, absolute pleasure. Action over everything. Yeah, super important. So for anyone who has been contributing that would like to be considered for one of the 5 free tickets just drop a DM or a comment on one of the peak performance photos. I'm going to be going through with Chloe after, just picking out 5 names, but it just allows me to see who was who, if we have connected on socials and stuff like that. So I have remembered a load of names here. In fact, what I will do is bear with me. And any questions? My biggest thing just to pass on to everyone here really is just action. Get around the right people, no excuses, get your money together. If you're not in a financial position that you could go in with your head up, chest proud, and say, no, I don't agree with that, or you can't talk to me like that, or no, I'm not going on a performance review, which is unjustified. You need to get your finances in order. Honestly, it truly comes around to getting a good relationship. Okay. What is the consultancy thing? Do you have to have a specialism? No. So consultancy has changed. Again, it's like old narrative, isn't it? It's when we think of consultancy, we probably think of lawyers, doctors, formal bodies, therapists, stuff like that. It's not. If you have knowledge in something, it's super important that you teach people who are a little bit behind on their journey, opposed to where you are. And it's important we share that information. And sometimes you'll be in a position where you can set up a consultancy side of your business, which means you're able to give instant information in fair exchange for a monetary value, right? So no, consultancy can be for everything, right? Obviously, you've got to be careful around financial advice, but most other things, consultancy is open to everyone. No idea on what passive incomes to think about. Sophie, it's worth really thinking about. If you could wake up every day, Monday to Monday, and do something that you're really passionate about, what would that be? Number one, what does that look like to begin with? And then really it's reverse engineering from there. Right. Okay. I can't, I wanted to be an Olympic diver. That's not going to happen. Okay. So maybe I like teaching, or maybe I like the educational role of building communities. Maybe I want to be the hostess with the mostess, or maybe I'm really good at selling. Try and tap into natural gifts or skill sets that you have, or at least that you could learn and you think would be good. So my Instagrams are, for anyone, Aaron Knightly Official, the Breakout Program. I've got TikTok Growth Program, Knightley's Roundtable Podcast, Aaron Knightly Lifestyle, and Peak Performance Events. I was going to ask, and now you just answered it. Cool. Branding and design consultancy. Oh, yeah, cool. I know what I would love to do is set up a micro hotel business chain for parents and families. Love it. It does require bricks and mortar, but again, where there's a will, there's a way. Passive income isn't real. I mean, it is. Obviously there is some active involved, but yeah, I can promise you now, firsthand, it's very real. I mean, I'm paid pretty much per hour, 7 days a week. So it is real. It does exist. But of course, it's front end active work. Like, you have to do a huge amount of front end work, and you have to make a huge amount of sacrifices in order to get to a stage of being passive. But of course, you don't ever fully take your foot off the gas. But yeah, absolutely, passive income absolutely exists. When we can now build businesses around our lifestyle, it's not a case of we have to be in an office, we have to go to a warehouse, we have to oversee staff. If we have a look at what the employed world is doing, what you'll notice is they don't actually want full-time staff anymore. There's a lot of split contracts, 0 contract hours. So building a lifestyle business that is predominantly passive is definitely a real thing. And I know that because I'm living and breathing it, as well as many people that I know who are close friends of mine. Are social media the best way to marketing the product? Absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't be paying for ads. Collectively with all my social medias, I've done something like nearly 300 million views. Not one of them's a paid ad. So yeah, I mean, like I said, TikTok alone, I've done over 260 million views now, and not a penny put in. So, and that's dramatically changed my situation financially and professionally as well. Okay, any final questions? As I'm going to have to jump on a call very shortly, but any final questions, and I'll happily answer them. But just finally, get your finances in order, and honestly, I promise you, it will change your perspective and outlook once you get your finances in order. Okay, I've got a question here in the question box. Advice for a 25-year-old on money. I would just say, I know it's tough to hear this, but if I could go back, I'd live even more like a pauper. If you don't have children right now and you don't have outgoings, never leave home. Just save, 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 save. Invest into your business. Invest into your business. Don't go traveling early on. Don't waste your fucking money. People don't care whether you've got a marble kitchen. People don't care about your car. I would say final ones, if you're financing an Audi, a BMW, or a Mercedes because you want to pretend to look like you've got fucking money, get rid of it and go buy a Ford KA. Or if you can, go get an electric scooter and just put up with getting rained on. Sacrifice now so that later in life, you can laugh at everyone else who is still grinding their ass off and breaking their back. Because it all comes from what you're willing to cut off and sacrifice in the early days. If you have a business that earns but struggles with getting clients, would you consider working with annoying clients? Is it the business problem or a client problem? Would you get rid of the client? Which approach is better? To be honest, I would probably I wouldn't do either. I would just change my lead generation. I would just figure out why am I bringing in the wrong clients? I would probably again, going back to performance, I would probably analyze what have I been doing over the last year that keeps bringing me really annoying clients. I would probably change my marketing strategy. I would make sure that I increase my value that I'm giving. Simon says a lot of this, that's why Simon and I, our values are quite aligned, because maybe you need to give more value. Maybe you need to have better call to actions. Maybe your funnel system is not weeding out the annoying ones. I think really to actually sit back and strip back and perhaps go and look at some companies that are in a similar industry as yourself and reverse engineer everything that they're doing. Sign up to their newsletters. What are they doing on social media? How many times are they posting on all platforms? Do they have a podcast? Are they doing giveaways? How are they bringing in clients? Become a dry testing client of theirs. Sign up to their services. Cool. Great. Well, look, fix the service, good service, affect the emotional state of a client, make them not annoying. Yeah. Okay, well, look, I think, Chloe, I don't know if you're able just to put in the chat. I think we're going to briefly just catch up just before we close it off. But look, I hope it's given everyone a bit of an insight. But look, I promise you, it doesn't matter where you come from, what situation you're in, family, no family, one leg, two legs, council estate, no money. Honestly, it's all a label and a title that no one gives a shit about, right? No one honestly does. Just get on with it and pull your finger out and make moves. Don't become a librarian. Learn something and go and do it. The key is in application. Like, go do it. Learn, go do it. Right, everyone, I'm gonna sign off now. So I'll see you all soon. Have a great day.